Hey guys, so here's your stuff for Monday the 11th. It's a little bit different style of WOD today, so we're gonna just kind of pay attention to the how it works. But we'll start off with a warm up. Mountain climbers, like we do a lot, really get that foot right up by the hand, or outside the hand, so you get that hip stretch. Right? It's 2 rounds through, like we do a lot. We usually kind of speed things up on that second round after you're kind of loose. So kettlebell or dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull. So that's the one over. We got the wide stance, we got a narrow grip, butts down, chest up. We're gonna do a deadlift, and then the fast high pull. So it powers from my hip extension, so powers from my butt and shoulders raising up together, and then that explosive is where the power is coming from in the shrug, and that's a quick high pull. So that's okay. So try not to just arm this thing. We don't want to be kind of pulling here. We want to be extending and then pulling. If I got a kettlebell or dumbbell, I might be kind of holding the end of it. Okay. Just trying to get the hips warmed up. Practicing that hip extension. Deadlifts. You're going to do a single leg, 2-arm deadlift. So you're just going to kind of fire up the hamstring and glute on the one leg. So you're going to stand on one leg. You're going to center the kettlebell or dumbbell or bar over that leg. So you're just going to center it over the leg. Slowly down to the laces and stand back up. So the idea is I'm trying to keep this close. So it's trying to keep the back straight, trying to hinge over like you would a normal deadlift to the knee. Whoop. And then butt and shoulder drop together. So you're really just trying to work on your balance, but really trying to fire up and kind of isolate that leg. Try to keep it close, so we don't want to kind of throw it out there. See how my back rounds with it. Trying to focus on basically doing it like a legit normal deadlift, bar close. So same thing, if I've got a dumbbell, I can kind of do it 2-hand, right? So it should go down to your foot, over your laces, but not smash your foot. If you got a bar and you're centering that bar over the single leg, bar should still be nice and close, right? Over your laces, right on your shin, nice and close. Because the idea of that is we're trying to warm up the hamstrings and loosen them up for the deadlift, right? It's not as much of a back warm up. Okay, so 2 rounds through, you're gonna even those out either side, however you like. Trying to get ready for deadlift. So when we do our deadlift today, if you have a bar, you can try to go as heavy as you can. We've set it at 8 reps, so hopefully that's enough reps to make it hard for you guys. So touch and go deadlifts. So we're going to be starting kind of butt just below the shoulders here, bars right over our knots of our shoes. Shins are pretty vertical, so this line here, my shin is pretty vertical, knees are out of the way, right? Knees are just inside the shoulders, right? And then from here, butt and shoulders rise together, so I don't want to change this angle of my back. I want to stay over the bar and keep the bar going up in a straight line, the knees out of the way. And when I get to the knee, is when I just drag the thigh and stand all the way up. Right on the way down, I'm going to keep the bar close. I'm going to get my hips to go back. Drag the thigh on the way down, and then from here down, butt and shoulders drop together to the shin, right? So that would be where the bar would hit the plates. But what I don't want to do is kind of pull up here early, or pull my butt up first, and then my chest up, really working on that, especially the angle staying the same from shin to knee, and then chest comes up. So if you watch the side view of my bar, if you watch the end of it's hard to see the end of this bar right now. But if you watch that end of the PVC pipe, it should go down in a pretty straight line the whole way. And it shouldn't be going out and around and then back and then out, right? So they can be touch and go reps. Just make sure that you're braced, kind of setting for that first rep, getting set, squeezing off the ground, right? And then it's going to turn into a cardio, right? So if you're doing 8 reps, probably going to be, you know, around 5 or 6 reps. You start breathing heavy. So make sure that you're practicing breathing every rep. So at the top here is where I'm going to take a breath and brace. Right? Breathe out at the top, breathe in at the top. Right? So I don't want to let it out. The worst thing I can do is let the air out at the bottom. So I go down. Right? And then out and exhale, and then trying to come up without getting full. I kind of lose that core and that bracing. Okay? So if you have a bar, you can try to add weight, or if you can kind of just work on your form a little bit and stay at a medium weight, or stay at something that's kind of challenging. It's supposed to be a sort of a strength set to a point, because I know not everyone has their weight. If you're doing dumbbell or kettlebell, you're going to do single arm deadlift. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your feet a little bit narrow, because if you have them wide, you kind of hit yourself in the leg. You're going to be doing this with the dumbbell or kettlebell at your side. You're gonna for a dumbbell, you can kind of tip it over so just the one side needs to hit. Or these are a little bit more upright than a normal deadlift, so if I'm a little more, because I don't have to worry about my knees getting in the way, see how I can get my knees a little bit more forward, and the chest a little more upright, because I don't have to dodge the leg, right? So I don't have to have the bar go straight down. The dumbbell can go straight down and touch, right? So the big thing about these ones, it's like a core stability exercise as much, just to keep you straight. So when you're doing you wanna turn and look like that. What we're gonna try to do is keep straight. Okay. And I'm really trying to, video yourself if you want to kind of peek at your back, make sure things are square. Same idea with the kettlebell. You might have to, I always find that, especially if I have a bit long legs, I need to keep my feet really narrow for something like this, because if I don't, I'm sort of hitting as I come down, I'm hitting my foot. So I really put my feet extra narrow. Okay. So you're gonna split that up. Trying to 10 to 15 reps was kind of the guess there, depending on your piece of equipment. But you want to be able to do, say you got to do 10 left, 10 right, to make this kind of challenging. But biggest thing is that I can do 10 or 15 or whatever I'm going to do, looking the same. So I don't want to do 7 good reps and 3 bad reps. I should be able to hold on, focus and stay kind of strong and tight and square through the whole set. So if that can't happen, lower the reps and get it right. Okay. So yeah, 5 sets of 8 or more should be enough to kind of tire you out a little bit. But the big thing today is that we're doing this WOD. We did that WOD in the open, the last one in the open that had the wall balls and the muscle ups, or I can't remember what the scale version was now, pull ups I think. But we're going to do, so you can break this up as any way you want, right? So you have 150 step ups to do and 90 shoulder and overhead to do. So your step ups are just one leg step up, stand up tall, doesn't matter which leg you step down with. Just make sure that every rep you switch legs, so left, right. And then the shoulder overhead. If you have a bar, you should have a pretty light weight, something that you can kind of get, 10 to 15 or something at a time. All right, so I'm going to be doing a shoulder overhead, so I'll push press most likely, with a short little dip, and head through, or a push jerk where I jump and I land low. But I'd say that this weight should probably be light enough that I can dip and drive and press and get a bunch in a row, right? So if I have a dumbbell, I'm going to hold the dumbbell in one hand. Really, at the top, I'm still trying to get that head through so that dumbbell, my wrist to my ankle should be a very straight line and stacked over each other. Biggest thing I don't want to do is kind of do this, like even there, just holding that there as hard on my shoulder where this is a rest. Okay? So I want to get that rest position at the top. This hand you can use to balance. Yeah, just make sure you even it out. So if you're doing like all on the one side, like say you're going to do 10 on the left, 10 on the right, you might be a little bit off at the end, but don't do the whole wad on the you don't have to alternate every rep, but say I'm going to do the first 15 or whatever on the one side, I'm going to switch to the next one. Yeah, so you might want to strategize on how you go out this one, right? So you don't want to just kind of go to failure, especially on your shoulders. The shoulder movements you want to keep kind of fresh, right? So you don't want to overtax your shoulders and then not be on the next set. They don't really work very well. So you might want to transition once you kind of start slowing down. You might want to kind of switch back and forth and do a nice number of reps. The other thing about this one is keeping track, right? So huge numbers, very hard to lose, very easy to lose track if you're not kind of writing things down. So for what we did for a lot of people in the open and stuff was set a number of rounds and kind of figure out like, so if I do 15 rounds of 10 and 6, or 10 rounds of 15 and 9, or 5 rounds of 30 and 18, or 3 rounds of 50 and 30, I can just kind of focus on that round and then mark a tick for a round instead of having to worry about like, you know, worst thing you could probably do for this WOD is do like, you know, random number until I don't feel like doing them anymore, and then a random number of these till I don't feel like doing them anymore, and then go back to there and forget where I was. So this one works a lot better to pick a number, you know, pick a strategy that you think that I can, okay, that's enough to kind of get me pretty far, but enough that I can keep going on them so that I want to do the, you know, I would probably do maybe 5 rounds of 30 and 18 because I feel like I can go at a good pace for those reps. But I'd also be using a weight that's kind of hard to do 18 in a row. I'd say most of you guys would probably be doing more rounds and less reps per round, right? So try to figure out a way that that math works out for you. Okay, so you might have to do a little bit of planning before you start. So if you have the right dumbbell or kettlebell, so if I'm doing a kettlebell, I'm kind of doing one of these ones, getting that dumbbell on the front rack, right? If I have a ball or a bent ball or a plate, I can use the ball and try to, right? Should be kind of push press weight until I really need to sort of turn it into a push jerk and land low. The idea is that if you plan this the right way, you don't need to break very much. So your transitions can be quick because my shoulders get to rest on here. I should be able to go pretty hard on this. Once my shoulders are too tired to go anymore, I'm going to go back to the step ups, and then I just basically go. Even though it's huge numbers, you're breaking it up and kind of partitioning it however you want. Okay, so write in your description there how you did it, right? How you broke things up. What was the plan? Because a lot of that stuff is how you're going to get better as an athlete, and because the quicker you can do this stuff, the fitter you are. Okay, so keep playing with those strategies. Okay, all right, have fun.